Hi, I'm Trina, and today we're checking out our favorites from our collection of sports cars here at Toronto Auto Brokers. And make sure you check out our entire inventory at torontoautobrokers.com. Hi, I'm Trina, and today we're going to review a Lamborghini Huracan LP 582. So the first thing you're going to notice about this Lamborghini is its very aggressive stance. So one thing also with the color is I like to say that this kind of looks like a praying mantis in like a stealth mode. Anytime I have one of these driving behind me, it really just looks like it's on the attack. So if we go down to the front of the car, of course these do come equipped with a nose lift, but we have this gorgeous carbon fiber lip. So this does have a carbon fiber package. It's also going to give you the wing and a few other locations on the vehicle. You have a pretty signature headlight. Again, anytime you have a Lamborghini behind you, you absolutely know it. Coming around the side of the vehicle, so right away we have our 19-inch rims here with this nice gorgeous piano black finish. You're also going to have your carbon ceramic brakes and this gorgeous matching green brake caliper. Coming around the side of the vehicle, so I am in heels again today, and I'm not very tall, and I'm towering over this vehicle, so it is very close to the ground. And you'll notice again, it's subtle, but it's pretty perfect. You do have this really nice carbon fiber wing kind of skirt on the side here, and then you have a cooling duct for your back tires. So again, this is really a track-ready vehicle. So something to point out is there's a couple little sneaky vents in here. So this is going to help the overall performance of the vehicle and just make it that much faster. So coming around the back of the vehicle, right away you have this massive wing, and it is also going to be that carbon fiber package. And then you also have this gorgeous dual exhaust. One thing about Lamborghini is it's not only the presence and the look that they stay true to, it's also that sound, and we're going to play with that a little bit later. And then you have this nice mesh grille here, also very Lamborghini style. This up here, I really like this personally. So we do have our engine underneath there. Fortunately, we can't see it right now, but I like that this is kind of that matte black finish. It ties in the whole vehicle, because if this was just all green, it would kind of wash it out a little bit. So that black, this nice black, you know, our piano black rims, it really just puts the vehicle together as a whole. So the back of the Lamborghini Huracan, you're going to have your rear tail lights with 3 individual LED brake lights and your reverse lights, of course. And then you have this really stunning hexagon grille in the back of the vehicle. And that's also going to tie in some features on the inside. And we're going to check that out in just a second. So now we're going to check out the front. With any Lamborghini or Supercar, yeah, they're never going to be all that big, but there is a bag in here to give you a good illustration of what you can fit. So you can definitely go to the gym. So now we're going to check out the engine bay. So under here, we have a V10 engine, which is going to produce 580 horsepower, and it's going to hit 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. So another thing to notice is just how clean this engine bay is. You can see kind of like the aesthetics that they really thought through. And if you peek forward, you can see just directly into the cockpit. So if you're ever driving your Lamborghini, you can peek out that little back window and just see how your baby's doing. So now that we're inside of the Lamborghini Huracan, you're going to notice this gorgeous lime green that of course matches the exterior. You know, with a Lamborghini, you're not buying this car to be subtle. So if you're gonna get a Lamborghini, you might as well go all out with this kind of color on the inside and the outside. One thing to notice is they have stayed true to their interior design. A lot of people like to say it feels like a jet engine. You know, modern cars are super cool, but you know, that technology, the giant screens, Apple CarPlay, all that stuff, you know, the driving experience does get lost in a bit of that translation. So really here, there's nothing that you need other than anything to enhance your driving experience. There is a CD player back here, I think, but you know, you don't really need that because there is a USB port in here. Again, you should probably just have your phone and playing some music, if anything. But the sound of this car is probably nicer than any of your music. Up here, you have all of your gauges, which is gonna show you that fighter jet feel. Like for instance, these are for your windows, like these two right here. So that kind of, I feel super cool if I had to put my window up or down just by using this nozzle. You have all of your controls for your music. And then right down here, again, let's talk about the fighter jet fuel. You have your start and stop. This reminds me of the Millennium Falcon because your shift gear isn't a shift gear at all. It's just kind of, it's super cool. I don't know how to explain this. Anybody that drives this probably knows what I'm talking about. So the steering wheel, again, with any supercar, I've really not come across any just yet that are too busy, because when you're buying these cars, it really is for the driving experience, not to, you know, text somebody or play with your Apple CarPlay. One thing to note down here is the vehicle does have Corsa mode, which is going to put that vehicle at the highest performance and be more or less track ready. So with the Lamborghini, on the interior, it is true to its form. It's not basic by any means, but it's not busy. In your dash, you have this really beautiful LED screen that's gonna give you all of your information. And then up front here, you also have 3 of your gauges that I think are gonna amplify that fighter jet fuel. And up here as well, you do have your nose lift, which is gonna lift the vehicle 2 inches off the ground, so you're not scraping on every curb that you come across. So of course, we're gonna end this segment with a nice sound test. Beside me, we have a Maserati MC20. This is an absolute mammoth on the road with F1 technology under the hood. First things you're gonna notice when looking at the front of this car is this carbon fiber front lip. Now, it's not extremely close to the ground, but it's not that far away either. But again, we're in a supercar segment. I've always been a fan of Maserati. I've been tripped for it a little bit. However, look at this Trident. They are bold, they are stylish, and they're Italian. We go around the vehicle, we have a triple LED head beam, as well as parking sensors throughout, and of course, a massive air vent to help cool with the tires. So right away, you're gonna notice with this vehicle is just how absolutely track ready it already looks. So we have these massive 20-inch rims, as well as a carbon brake. And you'll notice that it also has a carbon fiber center cap with the Maserati emblem. So in my personal opinion, with Maserati and the overall build of this car, I'm gonna absolutely give them 100% kudos. These rims are stunning. You have a piano black finish. They're not too busy. And the spoke is more unique than any vehicle I've come across recently. So with this vehicle, of course, we have the stunning butterfly wing doors, and we're gonna shut it just so we can see the full body of this vehicle. You'll notice right away, there's a carbon fiber finish along the whole bottom of the vehicle. Something interesting about Maserati is they really focus style overall on this vehicle. A good rule of thumb with this car is the bottom half that you see is kind of that black color. That's for engineering. Everything over and above is 100% styling. We'll go around the vehicle. Something that's a little awkward is the door handle. The positioning's a bit weird, but functionality is there, so whatever. We also have a massive cooling vent here for the rear brakes, another Trident, of course. Maserati likes to, put their emblem anywhere they possibly can with their vehicles. Coming around the back end, of course, we have that carbon fiber finish and parking brakes on your supercar. You have your dual exhaust here, your LED back lights, and the Maserati emblem. Now, functionality is in this car, but as mentioned, style. So this right here is a rear view camera, and it doesn't look out of place with some vehicles. They really thought this through. Everything on this car has purpose. At the rear of the vehicle, if we open this up, we're gonna have our engine bay as well as our trunk space. So trunk space right away, it's probably just they did it so they could. So again, it's just take the win. You could put something back here, maybe some groceries. There we have our engine bay with the carbon fiber cap on top of it. This has got the Nettuno technology, which once again, that is F1 technology under the hood of this car. This vehicle comes equipped with the all-new twin turbocharged V6 engine, and it has 630 horsepower. So one really interesting fact about this vehicle I had to bring up to you guys is that on the quarter mile, it's gonna hit around 11 seconds from factory. So now that we've had a lot of fun outside this car, we're gonna go ahead and check out the interior. And right away, you're gonna notice there's some nice carbon fiber accents. So right away inside of this car, you're gonna notice that there is really just this minimalist energy to the vehicle. There's nothing happening that shouldn't be here. You have a nice Alcantara accent on the dash here, as well as on the roof and throughout the vehicle stitching. You have a leather seat as well as a carbon fiber bucket seat. We have carbon fiber in the middle here. So you'll notice as well that we have some carbon fiber throughout the vehicle. We have carbon fiber paddle shifters. We have Alcantara on the steering wheel, as well as more carbon fiber. One cup holder back here, but at least we have one for your morning coffee. They really prioritize driver focus with this vehicle. You actually have all your drive modes as your primary options, and then down here you have your volume. So it kind of really complements the vehicle, and that maybe you should be paying more attention to how the car sounds rather than your music. We have our infotainment station here. The vehicle comes equipped with, of course, your Apple CarPlay, some navigation, your Bluetooth, Sirius XM, and everything else you really need in a vehicle. Now, right here, we have the rear view camera. So this vehicle, there is almost zero visibility looking out the back window here. So this is a very clear rear view camera so you can see where you're going and what's behind you while driving. Looking at the steering wheel, this is when you're really gonna know that you're in a track-focused supercar. So right at the driver's fingertips, you not only have your start-stop, but you have launch control. And this vehicle can go 0 to 60 in only 2.9 seconds. That's extremely fast. On the dash here, we have yet some more carbon fiber and of course, a nice Italian flag. Maserati's gonna let you know that they're about style and that they're Italian. And going to the butterfly doors, right here we have our handle. This is weight saving. Again, this is when you really know you're in a track-focused vehicle, kind of like the Porsche GT3 RS. You're gonna save weight wherever you can. Now that we've covered everything on the interior of the vehicle, we're gonna hear what these exhausts sound like. Hi, I'm Trina, and today we're gonna look at a 2021 McLaren GT. One thing you're gonna notice right away about the McLaren GT is it stays absolutely true to the McLaren fashion. Right away you'll notice the deep front lip, and in this case we have a nice piano black finish on the bottom half of the vehicle, and that's where you're gonna get a lot of that aerodynamic. Coming around the front of the vehicle right away, we'll see the McLaren front end headlights, of course with that LED strip right across the front. With any GT vehicle, you sure hope that you're gonna have some parking sensors. Coming around the side of the vehicle, we have a staggered wheel set. We have 20-inch in the front and 21 in the back. So this vehicle comes equipped with carbon ceramic brakes from factory, and you have your 20-inch rim in the front and a massive blacked out caliper. My opinion with these rims in particular, they're a little busy. However, it is a McLaren. It is made to make some noise on the street. And of course we have our air vents in the front, which is gonna aid in the braking and the cooling of the vehicle. Looking along the side of the vehicle, you have a considerable side mirror. They are tinted. I'm not sure if that was from factory, but it's a nice touch. It does have that nice piano black finish all along the bottom front and rear end and along both sides. A massive air duct, you know, about the size of my forearm. Sorry about the scrunchie. Going along the side, you have another cooling vent. And once more, these are 21-inch rims. They are staggered, and you have your carbon brakes and that nice ceramic finish, and another massive brake caliper. Coming around the back of the vehicle, I'm gonna keep talking about it because I really like it. This nice, clean piano black finish. Once more, I believe I see 2 parking sensors. So maybe right here is a bit of a cautionary area for everyone driving it. And then you have this stationed back wing above the McLaren emblem, as well as a LED straight light. A considerable size for the exhaust systems. We're gonna play around with the exhaust note later and see how it sounds. But I like how they're separated, and again, you have this mesh finish. It's not too busy. Some supercars, especially in the GT segment, can get a little busy or a little boring. So I do believe the McLaren kind of hit it right on the nail. So with the McLaren GT, it is competing against other vehicles like the Aston Martin, the Lexus LC, and Bentleys. Now it has something that's very unique in a Grand Tourer, which are the dihedral doors. Now, unlike most McLarens, this is just a button here and you lift it. Other McLarens are usually right about here. So we'll go ahead and lift it up. Now, we're gonna have a look at the engine bay. So one thing to note right away is with the McLaren GT, we can't see the engine. However, it does give us a little bit of trunk space. This is a really unique material. It's meant to capture heat. However, reviews have stated online that if you are gonna be traveling on a long road, it does get considerably hot in here, so maybe keep your laptops in the front, or at least protect whatever is in here, because again, there's a massive engine under there. So again, we're gonna talk about these dihedral doors. So for a GT, with the segment that it's competing in, you're not gonna see these kind of doors. Now I'm 5'4", I am wearing heels today, so we're just gonna do like a nice little comparison about how massive these doors actually are. You know, I'm looking up with heels on, I'm gonna say they're probably nearing around 6'5" or so. And if I was to put my body beside it, I can actually hide in here. So they're absolutely massive and they're gorgeous and they're quite light and easy to use. So before we go into this vehicle, I did want to touch on this absolutely fabulous carbon fiber bottom. So the frame of this vehicle is carbon fiber, and the total weight of this car, it is massive, but it's still pretty impressive. It's only 3,384 pounds. So looking at the inside of the McLaren GT, they have stayed once again true to their fashion with a very minimalist interior. So one thing I really like when car companies do this, or manufacturers I should say, is it's driver focused. So there's no noise over here. You know, there's a nice badge, you know, you got your cooling vents, you have a lovely red stitch throughout the Napa leather interior. But again, it is driver focused. So even the steering wheel, it doesn't have volume controls, it doesn't have your Bluetooth, it is driver focused. And of course you have your paddle shifters just below, and that is a really nice sound to hear. And looking at the infotainment, nothing you don't need. Navigation, most people have their phones. However, it is nice that it's built in. Your Bluetooth. With any supercar, you're gonna probably find that any climate control settings are gonna be within the vehicle's infotainment. There really isn't much room for anything else. They do prioritize what they're gonna put down here, which is launch control. So that's super cool. It is right at your fingertips. Not a traditional shift. You do just have the buttons here where you would hit drive, neutral, and reverse. I'm personally not a huge fan of this. I find it lacks in the vehicle's kind of overall character, but to each your own. It's a supercar. You can't complain about that when you're buying this. So with the cabin, it is a lot of high-end materials. You can definitely feel that you're in a supercar. It's a little tight in here. I'm not the biggest of humans, and I'm wearing heels. It was very difficult to get in. We can demonstrate that later. But if you want to change your seat around, it's not on the side, it's not on your door. It's actually tucked under the front lip of the passenger and driver seat. Oh, there we go. There's no rule to how I do this, or there's no real guidance. I'm really just trying to go forward, and I'm going up. But there is memory seats, so once you figure it out, just save it, because this is gonna be a little irritating. With the interior, it does complement the exterior with this nice piano black finish, the aluminum casing, you have your aluminum foot pedals. You do have a McLaren GT badge down here, which is super cool. I think you'd want to have that maybe a bit more visible. As a passenger, I didn't know it was there until I actually started playing with the seat, which brought me forward and I saw it. Also, there's a cup holder here that might hold a juice box or two. So when you're going into anything in the GT segment, again, you're not allowed to complain about cup holders, you're not allowed to complain about space, and you're not allowed to complain about ground clearance. I could touch the ground just leaning over. I'm gonna say it's probably half a foot, but again, this is this car. So take the win. So of course, everybody's favorite part of any car review is we're gonna test the exhaust note. So looking at the McLaren's frunk, the button is here on the door. It's always fun to look at frunks in supercars because you never know what you're gonna get. It's really not that bad. There's a giant blanket in here. However, if we pull that out, you can fit, you know, I would say cooler in a gym bag, or at least one normal size carry-on and a little bag for luggage. Again, in this segment, we're not looking for space for storage.
All right, guys, today we're gonna be talking about one of the most iconic, infamous Lamborghinis, the Aventador. This one here, it's a 2012, but it's still timeless. Let's take a deeper look into this. This car is still one of my ultimate favorite cars. Just stunning, very low, very sleek, very nice design. Not too big of a hood. Lamborghini is not known for the massive hoods. They're actually known for the massive rear ends, which we're gonna check out a little later. Very low car. It's actually really nice. It's got this black finished lip over here. Being that it's so low, it actually has a front suspension button that you can lift it up. We'll take a little look at that later on, especially when you're going over bumps that you don't know if you're gonna scratch or not. At least you get the option of lifting the car, which is really nice. Just a very sleek design. Again, like we talked about the Urus in my last video, Lamborghini's always been known for very pointy edges, which is really nice. It gives it just a really aggressive look to it. I really like the blacked out headlights. Always a nice finish, especially with the white color car. This car is really known for a huge, huge windshield. It gives you a lot of visibility, and because the hood's not so big, they need to give you a little bit more room for the dashboard. So that's why it's so long. Again, the roof is very long as well. We're gonna look a little bit more into the side of the car here. This car comes equipped with massive 20-inch rims, blacked out with these half moon calipers. Of course, it has the carbon ceramic brakes to really give it that ultimate stopping power. As we're gonna go look a little bit more, I really like the way the mirrors are. They stick out a little bit, which is really nice. They can tuck in too. And then of course, the iconic Lamborghini doors, the way they open. It wouldn't be a Lambo if it doesn't have these doors, in my opinion. As you can see, it's got this massive vent over here. Obviously, we know it's got the motor in the back, so it needs to have this vent to keep it cool, or else that motor's gonna heat up. Just very nice lines all along it. It's actually a very, very long car, very long stretch, very low. It's nice. It's got a very nice stance. Now, these rear wheels are actually a little bit bigger. They're 21s in comparison to the front, which are 20s. That's why if you actually look at the stance of the car, it gives it very aggressive looking, kind of going downwards, which is really nice. And then as we work our way further back into the rear end, beautiful, beautiful rear end. It's got this massive exhaust right in the middle. Of course, Lamborghini, it wouldn't be a Lamborghini if it didn't have the Lamborghini logo there. Nice lights, nice tail lights, nice rear end. I like the way it stances actually. The wheels stick out just a little bit from the rear, which is really nice too. It wouldn't be a Lambo without the beautiful motor. It's got a V12, which Lambo, in my opinion, has to have a V12. You can get away with a V10, but V12 just sounds so nice, which we're gonna hear later on. So right now, I wanna show you guys the interior of the car. Let's check it out, guys. All right, guys, now we're inside the Aventador. Of course, it's always got this beautiful cockpit looking display over here. It looks like a plane. All these switches for your windows and stuff. The actual interior is really nice. The seats are fairly comfortable. It's got a little bit of room. I mean, not too much. My head is almost touching it. But again, it's all about you, how you want to sit and how you want to adjust your seat. I like the two-tone seats. It's got the white with the black, which is nice. The leather roof. Again, no sunroof. Being that it's a sports car, I shouldn't have one for the lightweight. The steering wheel itself is a little basic for me. It feels nice in your hands. Not much displays on it, just volume and I guess just the modes, and that's about it. Simple, elegant, nice, very nice. But one thing I did want to show you guys was what I told you guys about the suspension. It actually has a button right here, which I'm going to show you guys. Check it out. All you got to do is one flick of a button, and it really gives you that little bit of a clearance, which is really nice. And then one flick down again, and it goes right back down to where it was. All right, guys, so we're gonna do a sound check. V12, this one's gonna sound nice. Let's hear it. Now that's a car right there. Beautiful V12, amazing sound. Really good job on that one. Now the most important part, the motor. It's a 6.5 liter V12, pushing 691 horsepower and about 507 pound-feet of torque, all in an all-wheel drive car, really getting you that go in under 3 seconds. Just amazing. Now let's talk about pricing. All right, guys, if you guys are interested in something like this, come check it out at Toronto Auto Brokers. We have this one listed at $359. If you want more information, you can always check our website, TorontoAutobrokers.com. Thank you for watching. Namo here. Know what to do. Like and subscribe.